Hey there, it's Rob, back again with another offering to the YouTube gods. And off the back of my last video, I wanted to stay on the subject of No Man's Sky and talk about the upcoming Frontiers update. The team at Hello Games just released a 5-year anniversary trailer, and I want to talk about some things I want to see and a few other points, so let's get into it. Owning space stations. So let's kick things off with the obvious one. With the recent addition of the Space Station Core, it's obvious that we're going to see something big with the stations. The biggest theory being that we might be able to buy, somehow acquire, or actually own a space station. Are we sick of farming items and selling them to a faceless machine for a measly profit, or even a loss if you can't be bothered to hop between the systems to get the best price? Are we about to be able to go into business for ourselves? Maybe we'll be able to choose what items our station sells and set our own prices, maybe even become a vendor. Could going into business for ourselves be the missing piece to the economy system? Also, if we can own a station, could we customize its appearance? Choose what type of ships spawn and how many? I'd also like to see some sort of storyline as to how this could come about. Maybe we meet the owner and they end up handing the keys over to us after doing some missions for them. Who knows? More ship customization. I'd like to see a bit more added to the ship customization, such as a bit more depth to the breaking down for scrap option. It'd be cool to break ships apart, but keep certain bits such as the wings or thrusters and save them in your inventory, similar to cargo bulkheads or storage augmentations, so you can mix and match and make a custom built ship. Also, being able to change the ship colours like you can with the freighters is a massive wish of mine. Ship hunting can be cool though, and the sense of accomplishment once you've found and upgraded a ship you like is very rewarding. So if they do add some more features, I hope it doesn't take away from that too much. Gotta find that balance. More planet types. Of course there are many planets in No Man's Sky, with many biomes, but they mainly consist of one of 6 types: paradise, hot, cold, toxic, irradiated and dead. Not forgetting the more strange exotic planets. Many different types and possibilities indeed. Now this sounds like a nitpick, but they're all planets that we can land on. Every single one is a solid or terrestrial planet consisting of rock or metal. I'd like to see the addition of gas and ice giants like in our own solar system. Not necessarily to try and fly through, as we'd likely be smashed to bits, but the mere sight of a gas giant would be this huge, imposing, quite menacing looking thing, and would add a touch more believability to have this variety of planet in the galaxy. After all, most exoplanets that we've found are these types of gas planets, so it would make sense for No Man's Sky to include them also. However, this would be a huge undertaking to the way No Man's Sky works, and would definitely require a full reset to implement. So this is likely to never happen, or not without that dreaded reset anyway, which I'll talk about later on. But this video is things I want to see, not things I think we'll see. And I want to see gas and ice giants, so it made the list. A new expedition. We're likely to see a 3rd expedition, hopefully with this update, but if not, I'm sure it won't be far behind. I haven't much to say on this one other than I really want to see this added, as I missed the first 2 and I really want to earn some rewards. Fingers crossed it's sooner rather than later. 2 in a ship. This is something I've wanted to see ever since I started playing the game with a friend. Exploring the game together is great as it is, but it can sometimes feel like the two of you are miles apart and you're constantly trying to find each other again. Especially if you're a more experienced player and you want to show your friends some things quickly to get them interested in the game, because as you know, it can be pretty overwhelming to new players. I think if you could jump in a player's ship, it would add an extra depth of immersion that the two of you are just travelling together in the vast expanse of space. Maybe the passenger could be the gunner while you fly the ship. I think this would be a cool feature. I don't think it'd be difficult to implement either. It's not like they'd need to change the ship size, as when you enter the ship you just dematerialise. Your player model isn't actually sat in the ship. This hasn't been added so far though, and I doubt it ever will be, as I think the game is more focused on the solo aspect of exploration, which is fair enough. Cities or colonies. This would be a great addition and would certainly add some depth to the game. Visiting a planet that has intelligent life, even though, let's be honest, pretty much all of them have, Except for uncharted space, that is. That aside, visiting a planet which has established colonies would be awesome to see. However, again, I think it would need a galaxy reset to work properly, unless they could find a way to have them spawn randomly. That'd be cool, unless one spawns in the middle of your base, that is. That said, I can see the idea getting pretty stale fast, as I don't think there would be enough variety between one city to another. The same with the buildings that you see already, they all look exactly the same. The best and non-intrusive approach to this would be to increase base sizes, but then again that could cause nearby bases to overlap. Definitely a tricky one. I'm glad I'm not the one working on these games. They could include more base items though, such as roads and signs and buildings, so we could make our own. Cities would also be pretty graphics intensive on older machines, which would alienate some players and prove a challenge to the cross-platform ability. Even a large base for me starts to melt my CPU. The 4chan speculation. We kinda have to address this as it's been doing the rounds. Captain Steve's done a video on it, which I'll link below. But let's have a little look. The leaker talks about the void being explored. I'm guessing the same place from where the void eggs come from, which I've not actually managed to get yet, so if anyone's got one spare, can you give me a shout? Apparently the living ship was just a teaser of the void, so if this is legit, we may get to see more of it. A separate horror-filled part of space we've never seen before. It would be cool if there was an invasion of sorts, a different alien race coming to attack and threaten life as we know it, and we have to fight them, or even go to them as the leaker says. It also says there'll be a new tech for the multi-tool to help fight the new threat. It does mention that Hello Games have also apparently been working on ways to change things without the need for a reset, which is huge if true. I've only just built my new base and I really can't be arsed having to do it again. There are plans for a third expedition also, but was delayed because of complications tying it into this new update, if this is to be believed. According to this, they've been working on the update for 2 years. And finally, cities. No word on them according to the leaker, although Hello Games have discussed it. Interesting stuff to say the least, and if nothing else it helps to add to the hype of the Frontiers update, but obviously take this with a pinch of salt, or a pinch of glass grains. No? Okay. So here we are, the Galaxy Reset. Okay, now this isn't something I want to see, unless it's a massive update and there's no other way to do it. I remember the horror of having a great time of base building, saving your game and leaving happy, only to come back after the new update, loading up, only to discover your base is underground, underwater, or 200 feet in the air, stepping outside and not knowing where the hell you are, or having to go around repairing everything if they change any mechanics, such as how things are powered, for example. Even your planet might be a completely different biome from when you left it. These are pretty soul destroying at the time, especially if you've just finished your base. They take ages after all, only to have to break it down and start fresh somewhere else. For these reasons, I definitely don't want to see a reset. That being said, if the update is huge, adds a ton of new mechanics, planet types, missions, base items, expanded base sizes, or anything that is going to massively improve the game, then I'm all for it. It's a worthy sacrifice. If I lose my brand new base and my various farms, yes, it's annoying, but you can always build them somewhere else. Just remember, when you last save your game before the update comes out, take a good look at your base and enjoy it, because it might not be the same when you come back. So, that's it. I think I've done it. Aside from bug fixes and general improvements, it'd be nice to have a working ceiling light or a livestock feeder that doesn't lose all your items, to name a couple. That's about all I can think of that I'd like to see. Let me know what you'd like to see in the comments below. And before I go, I'd just like to say thank you to Hello Games for sticking with it, working tirelessly to improve the game time after time for the last 5 years, for free, making it become one of the best games I've ever played. Bring on the Frontiers update, I cannot wait. Here's to 5 more years. Long live No Man's Sky. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.